you could probably create the 6-figure side hustle blueprint, and this might be the top 5 things that they need to position themselves to get 6 figures. So we're talking about 2023. So that might be, and I'm just off the cuff, that might be a YouTube channel. That might be virtual assistant. That might be, your business structured properly. That might be, focusing on one product. That might be getting a coach or a program or a mentor or something, all the way up to 10. Then as you introduce your podcast, what's going on? This is Sabrina from the 6-Figure Side Hustle Podcast. All my 6-figure, all my 6-figure people out there that's inspiring to have 6 and 7 figures. What if I helped you expedite that process? That's right. I put it all together in my brand new 6-figure side hustle blueprint, and you can get the 10 things that you need right now by just going to 6figureblueprintbook.com. And then today's guest, I got Brendan coming on the show.
All right. Don't nobody steal that
idea. So now you got that going on, right? So that's going to be moving and grooving for you, right?
Right.
So number 2, the second most impactful way that you can basically guarantee, you can guarantee and you can predict the revenue that you can bring in with your podcast is with a subscription service. So the best way to look at this is like, let's say, Sabrina, you and I were going to Mexico. I really like this analogy. You and I are going to Mexico. Let's say you got your ticket first. That is true. Let's say we're going back to Mexico. Let's say we're going back to Mexico or a different part of Mexico. You got your ticket first. You didn't wait for me.
Right.
So we didn't talk about what tickets we were going to get. You got the first class ticket because you're premium. You're first class. That's the experience you want. I was lagging a little bit. I ended up just getting the economy. What happens? We're both getting to Mexico at the exact same time. What's the difference though? You got different food and drink available. You got a bathroom that a lesser amount of people have access to. They're gonna be a little nicer to you. They're gonna talk to you a little bit different. You might have a pillow. You might have a blanket. You know what I'm saying? You might have more leg room. You're gonna get off the plane and get on the plane first, right? But you're paying for that experience. Right. Me, I got a restaurant that has the majority of the plane. I hit the button. They barely come by to check on me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a regular experience. So how does that translate to the podcast? Well, everyone, whether they're watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, they get the economy experience, which is just experiencing the podcast. Everyone can do that. You can go on all the platforms, whether audio or video. You can go on the platforms. You can experience the podcast, right?
Right.
But there's going to be a small percentage of your viewers, even if you only have 50 viewers, there's going to be a tapped-in audience that wants to get more access to Sabrina, wants to learn about 6-figure side hustles, wants to be able to connect with you however they can connect with you, right? So for you, you may offer them a weekly Zoom call. You may offer them a bi-weekly Zoom call. You may offer them, let's say there was 3 to 5 minutes of recorded content or questions that you asked me that you did not include in the podcast, but were available for your premium 6-figure community. They can get access to that. Maybe you had your guests that come and speak once a month for like 15 minutes, and your community could Q&A them. Maybe you gave them access to digital products before, the public. Maybe you had quarterly meetups and only available for people in your community. They can meet with you, wherever city you're at quarterly, right? And what if you charge $99 for that? Well, 10 people is $1,000, and now you got $1,000 every single month from 10 people, not 500, not 1,000. Right. You know what I'm saying? This podcast is out right now that's getting 3,000 views per episode. That's not making no money because they don't have no offers. They don't have nothing set up. So if you had, and I just want to know this honestly, right? If you had, let's say you had 100 views on this podcast episode, how would you feel about that? Would you feel like that's a lot of people or not?
I would feel like that's a lot of people for where my podcast is right now in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
So in the grand scheme of things, you don't think it's a lot of people. Okay. If you were in a room and it was 100 people in the room, how would you feel about that?